Mama had the softest hands when holding the new babies in our family, but the firmest hands when she was breaking off a switch. Mama was a strong woman who was deserving of the best. Today I am going to share with you the beauty that was Joyce Laverne Gerald, my grandmother. It is important that I share my memories of this lovely lady with you because she was an incredible woman. Not only was I her granddaughter, but I was also her friend. There's no one that will have an impact on your life as great as your grandmother. Mama was a kind woman with a nurturing side. As a child, there were many times when my cousins and I would hurt ourselves playing outside in the yard at her house. She often came to the rescue with her hydrogen peroxide and a bandage. Mama's special touch had magical healing powers, and boo-boos never stood a chance against her. I recall many mornings years later when I would go visit her in the early hours before going to work. As soon as I entered her door, the smell of freshly brewed coffee would lead my sleepy body to the kitchen. Upon reaching the kitchen, I would find Mama in her robe and slippers, heating up her well-seasoned iron skillet. I would always offer to help her make pancakes, and she always told me to sit down and have a cup of coffee. No one ever left her house hungry. We would sit and have conversations over coffee that lasted sometimes hours. She often would speak of old friends that were dead and gone as if I knew them. I casually would nod as if I knew who they were. She always listened when I vented about my then abusive husband, so the least I could do was listen to her. There was never any judgment, just encouraging words of wisdom. Somehow, everything bad in the world went away when she embraced me with a warm hug. She always squeezed as hard as her feeble osteoporotic bones would allow. The closer her heart was to yours, the more love she could transfer to you. Mama had a lot of love to share, even though she had a hard life. As the oldest of 12 brothers and sisters, she had to drop out of school at a young age to help her mother with her younger siblings. Mama did not have a normal childhood and was forced to mature at a much faster rate than most. Along with raising her siblings and running the household, she was abused by her own mother. She never complained about her hardships, however. Her trauma caused her to be a strong, independent woman who always spoke her mind. She never sugarcoated anything and was very blunt. Sometimes she may have even hurt your feelings, but I always respected her honesty. She went on to have 6 children of her own, 3 boys and 3 girls. As she started having children, her mother was still having children as well. This left her caring for her siblings as well as her own children. This would exhaust a woman of normal tenacity, but she was very resilient. She was an amazing mother and eventually an amazing grandmother and even a great-grandmother. She not only had plenty of knowledge to share, but wisdom beyond her years. Please do not make the mistake of thinking she was a soft woman who let her grandchildren by with anything. She was notorious for punishing us by swatting our legs with a small tree branch, also known as a switch. Disrespect and bad attitudes were never tolerated and were handled accordingly. We would cry for a few seconds on the steps before walking away with our stinging legs. We were never abused, but rather disciplined as we should have been. This led to her raising strong-willed, respectful adults. Mama was the perfect balance of being stern and being kind. She made up some of the best memories I have and some of my worst whippings that I ever had. If it weren't for her, I would not be the strong and independent woman that I am today. When I was a child, she was my grandmother. When I became a woman, she was my friend. I miss her dearly, and I look forward to joining her again in heaven. Thank you.